At 7:12 on a Tuesday morning, the dependable Gen Xer is already fixing three problems that technically belong to someone else. A work message came in before breakfast. An aging parent needs a call back. Something in the house has stopped working. None of it looks serious, so he handles it. She handles it. That is what everyone expects. And that is why Gen Xer burnout is so easy to miss. It rarely begins with a breakdown. It begins with a person becoming even more reliable. The warning signs do not look like weakness. They look like competence, with the life slowly draining out of it. By the time everyone else notices, the collapse has often been building for months. The first sign is not always exhaustion. Sometimes it is indifference. The job gets done, but there is no satisfaction afterward. The family problem gets solved, but you feel nothing except relief that nobody is asking another question. A free Saturday appears, and instead of feeling excited, you start listing everything you should catch up on. You are still functioning. You are just no longer fully present inside the life you are keeping together. A lot of Gen Xers do not call this burnout. They call it being an adult. That reaction makes sense. Many of them were trained early to become the low-maintenance person in the room. They came home to empty houses, made their own food, finished their homework, and figured out small problems before an adult returned. If something hurt, they first decided whether it was serious enough to mention. If a parent already looked stressed, they learned not to add another problem. Nobody called it resilience training. It was simply the arrangement, and it built real strengths: independence, practical judgment, calm under pressure, the ability to work without applause, the habit of looking at a mess and asking, what needs to happen next? Those strengths carried Gen X through divorces, layoffs, recessions, changing technology, unstable companies, aging parents, adult children, and a world that kept rewriting the rules. But the same skill that helps a person survive pressure can also hide how much pressure they are under. Because when your identity is built around being the one who can handle it, saying, I cannot carry this today, does not feel like useful information. It feels like a character flaw. So you do what has always worked. You narrow your attention, you push the feeling down, you solve the next thing. And for a while, the system keeps running. That is what makes this kind of burnout dangerous. It rewards you on the way down. People thank you. Managers depend on you. Family members call you first. You become more necessary at the exact moment you have less left to give. At work, you may be the person who understands the old system, the new system, and the strange unofficial system everyone actually uses. When something fails, people do not ask who is available. They ask where you are. At home, you remember the appointment, the repair, the medication, the difficult relative, and the problem nobody wants to discuss. You are not just carrying tasks. You are carrying everyone else's memory. That reliability can look impressive, but inside it creates a quiet belief. If I stop paying attention, something important will fall apart. So rest never feels fully safe. Even when you sit down, part of your mind stays on duty. That is the second hidden sign. You are resting physically, but not psychologically. You watch television while checking email. You take a day off and spend it doing the job's work prevented you from doing. You go on vacation and need 3 days just to stop scanning for problems. Then, right when your body begins to slow down, guilt appears. You should be doing something. You should be helping someone. For many Gen Xers, that guilt is not proof that rest is wrong. It is an old alarm going off because productivity once made the environment feel safer. There is another sign people miss. Your world starts getting smaller. You answer fewer calls because conversation feels like one more demand. You stop making plans because plans require energy you cannot guarantee. You sit in the driveway for 5 extra minutes before going inside, not because you dislike your family, but because the car is the last place where nobody needs anything. You become easier to irritate. A simple question feels loaded. A small delay feels disrespectful. A request you would have handled easily a year ago now lands like an accusation. Then you feel guilty because you know the request was not the real problem. The real problem is that your margin is gone. Burnout is not only having too much to do, it is having no emotional space left between what happens and how hard it hits. And Gen X often enters this stage without changing their public behavior. The bills are still paid, the report is submitted, the car has gas. That is why the people around them say, I had no idea. But there are clues. The reliable person starts forgetting ordinary things, not because they have become careless, but because their brain is carrying too many open tabs. They lose interest in things that once restored them. They become cynical about problems they used to solve with patience. They wake up tired, move through the day on obligation, and stay up too late because nighttime is the only part of the day that feels like their own. Then one day, willpower stops producing movement. It may happen in front of a laptop or at the kitchen table. The task is familiar. The person knows exactly how to do it. They simply cannot begin. That moment can feel frightening because the old method has always been simple: keep moving. But the engine is not refusing because the person suddenly became weak. It is refusing because the warning light has been ignored for too long. And this is where generic advice fails. A Gen Xer who has spent 40 years being useful does not need to be told to quit everything, disappear to a retreat, or become a completely different person. The goal is not to make them less capable. The goal is to stop treating capability as proof that they need nothing. That starts with one honest inventory. Which responsibility is truly yours? Which one did you inherit because everyone knew you would not let it fail? Which problem are you solving because it matters? And which one are you solving because being needed feels more familiar than being cared for? Then make one small change before the body makes a large one for you. Tell someone the unedited version of how tired you are. Remove one task that exists only because you have always done it. Book the appointment before the symptom becomes an emergency. Let another capable adult solve a problem imperfectly without stepping in. Take 1 hour of rest before you have earned it. And when guilt shows up, do not treat it as a command. Sometimes guilt is only the feeling of breaking an old survival rule. The old rule said useful people keep going. The better rule is that useful people maintain the system before it fails. Because the people who love you do not only need the problems you solve, they need the part of you that can still laugh, listen, notice a good day, and sit in a quiet room without measuring how much energy the moment is costing. So look again at the Gen Xer, who seems completely fine. They are still answering messages, still fixing things, still saying it is handled. But reliability is not the same as unlimited capacity. Sometimes the person closest to burnout is not the one doing the least. It is the one everyone trusts to keep doing more. And the sentence that may prevent the collapse is the sentence Gen X learned to avoid. I can handle it, but I should not have to handle all of it alone.